So when someone orders champagne, it's like a whole thing, right? All the hosts would get up from whichever table they were at. Doesn't matter who you're with. There's a champagne call. You go to that one person that ordered it, and we will all have this whole chant. We would have like multiple chants, like it was a whole group thing. I mean, champagne, hi hi, and like it's like we would bring the microphone to the little champagne cork. Everyone would get quiet. We would do the pop, and then everyone would yay, like stuff like that. It was so dumb. I have a picture of like this whole paper that we had to like remember on like all the champagne calls because we had to do it drunk. So, yeah. A lot of my nights kind of look like this. Not like a kaitenzushi, but like more of like a izakaya where people can drink, eat, have a good time. That's most of my like adventures. So I do the quotes. Adventures. I was born in Okinawa and then I moved to the States when I was still pretty young, like 7, 8-ish. I used to go back every summer to like see my family, my friends and whatnot. I moved back to Japan for about 2 years straight out of high school on my own for a little bit. When I was just walking down the street for fun, some random dude came up to me and asked if I had a job or anything like that. I was like, no, dude, I just kind of moved out here. That's when he scouted me, actually. I got scouted to be a host. I don't know. I guess I had to look for it in a way because I was pretty... I was like a little scene kid, basically. So I like have my whole hair, teased and whatnot. You can like put up a picture of like my high school thing right here if you want. We traded contact info like online. That's like the messaging app that we use in Japan. And we just started talking. He asked if I want to like come in for like a night and see how being a host is. I'm like, fuck it. Why not, right? Pretty sure a lot of people would know this job by now. A host essentially makes sure that the client is having a good time. You drink with them. You try to upsell champagne and whatever else. You always try to like kind of upsell, but you don't want to like push them to... It's like a balance, Everything that they bought, like beer or food or anything like that, would just be commissioned to us. There's high rollers that came in that would always buy champagne every night. But like a lot of clients would just make it like a simple couple beers, couple mixed drinks, and some food type of thing. The gist is you drink with your client, make sure they have a good time, and you kind of just get paid for it. But the thing is, at our club, we opened at like 3 a.m. It's so stupid. It was a little sketchy, going to like a random host club at 3 a.m. in like the red light district within Okinawa and in Matsuyama. But it turned out pretty cool, actually. He showed me the ropes of how to be a host, essentially. You really have to like pay attention to the small details. When a customer gets like a cigarette out, you have to have a lighter ready, and with like the ashtrays, the little divots to put your cigarettes on, you have to have it so that's facing the customer, essentially. It's all the small stuff that they were telling me about. It's kind of cool though. Getting 100% fluent again in Japanese was a little bit hard back in San Diego. I mean, there was a lot of Japanese people, but not a lot of Japanese high schoolers and whatnot that I can actually converse with. So I lost all my Japanese and I regained it back when I became a host. It was a learning experience for me. The fact that we opened at 3 a.m., our clients were all kyabajōs, which it's girl hosts, basically. Hostesses. Their shifts, I guess, would end around the same time that we would open. So essentially our club was full of like kyabajōs. They have a lot of money, so they would always buy drinks. They had the same occupation as us, so it was never really hard to talk to them or anything like that. I mean, it's been a while, but we would all take turns, one by one, maybe like 10 minutes each of this potential new client. We would walk up to you, introduce ourselves. We would sit down, like ask if we can sit down with you, if we can like have a drink. The whole point of us being super nice and whatnot is so that we can have you as our client. Because a lot of people that work within the host clubs themselves, we're all kind of fighting each other for, clientele. If a new person comes in, we would butter him up. Like, hey, you look really good. What do you want for to drink? I'd say my name, which is a fake name. We never gave out our real name. Even our business cards were fake names. If we meshed well, they would pick me as a client. I would get drunk, but I would still be conscious enough to do, my duties as like, get the lighter out. You just have to know your limit of professionalism, I guess, like as you're drunk. Like you have to know your limit for drinking and like how professional you can be while being drunk too. So, yeah, I mean, it was like a little learning curve. It's not a job for the light drinkers though. That's for sure. I always had them lead the conversation, I would kind of talk about my personal life every now and then. I went to school in the States and they would be curious about that, Sometimes they would try to practice their English with me. There's some taboo things you would never talk to them about their personal life, unless they open up to you. Anything sensitive like that. You can be friendly with them, but you don't want to get too personal because they are your client. It was always like a balance. Even outside of the host club, if you want to keep a good clientele, you always have to like network with them outside the job. Did I tell you my host name? Because we had to have fake names. My host name was Kirito from Sword Art, because I was into anime at the time, and Sword Art was pretty big. So yeah, it's funny. It's so bad looking back at it now, but we're fighting for a clientele, right? Everyone had their own little gimmick. Some people with their business cards would like spray cologne on it. So when they get it, it smells good and shit. With me, my name was Kirito. Like if my potential client was into anime and shit, we can easily like, mesh well with that type of thing.
Did that win you a lot of points?
Not as many as I wanted. You know what's funny? When I was first picking out my fake name before Kirito, my boss was like, "How about John? Like an American name." I'm like, do I look like a John? Yeah. I'm like, I shot that down so quick. I'm John America. One yeah. No, I could not. No, I like the little gimmicks, but that was a little too much for me. A lot of my clients, they watched The Walking Dead back when The Walking Dead was like good, Some of them still consumed American media-wise. It was more so about the music. A lot of my friends were into like Day to Remember, Bring Me the Horizon and whatnot, and we would sing them at like karaoke and whatnot. One of my clients, she was super into MCR. At one point we were all singing like Helena at the club, which was fun. A Day to Remember came to Okinawa for like a free show, and that was a really fun time. It was on base, so it was like a bunch of like a Marine bros, right? And me and my friends, it was really fun. At the end of the night, whoever sold the most amount, uriage, like the top like 1, 2, 3, they would announce it, and the top person who sold the most could sing, whatever they want. At one point, my coworkers sang like the Frozen theme song. Oh my god, it's so dumb. But during some events, if there's like a champagne call, we would do like Big Bang songs, like K-pop, I guess, but in Japanese. When it's your birthday, it's like a whole event at the club, and I guess I was known for just like having a shitty diet of McDonald's. So we had like a McDonald's themed party in a way, and like all my clients just gave me like a bunch of gift cards. An embarrassing moment from that night was one of my clients, she ordered like Jose Cuervo shots, and there's no way I can do this now, but at the time when I was like just drinking heavily, I could take like at least maybe 10 kilo shots without feeling bad. But Jose Cuervo is like really, I don't know, it tastes like shit. We were having drinking games and I ended up drinking like way too much. And my client was sitting next to me and she had her bag on my lap. She was talking to like my coworkers, we were all just having a good time, and I was not feeling so hot. And next thing I remember is like just kind of like throwing up in her like Gucci bag and like passing out. And I remember like I made it home somehow. My client was like super chill about it actually. She got another one. I didn't ruin her cell phone or anything, but it was really embarrassing. That was like the only time that I actually threw up doing that job after like 10 tequila shots. I still can't drink tequila because of that. I had some suits. This is when I got super into fashion because like it's not really big in the States, but this brand called Vivienne Westwood was really popular in Japan and the UK. I based my costume off of that. Buy like a nice suit, buy a lot of accessories, like Vivienne Westwood accessories, so you will look good for the client. Because if you're showing up to work with like, I don't know, shorts and like a Hawaiian shirt, no one's going to like choose you as a host, you know? So you're not gonna get any clients with that. For some reason in Japan, dudes would have bags as well, and I got one. It's kind of cool. My sleep schedule was so weird. I had to go to sleep at like 8 p.m. to wake up at 2 a.m., shower up, be at the salon by like 3. I do miss the free salon. You had to get your hair done, and we had like an on-site hairstylist. That was really cool. We don't have a janitor, right? We all clean the club ourselves, so we have to clean all that, make sure all the dishes are done, make sure everything's prepped. Even before the club opens, we had to go out into town and just try to get people to come in, basically in a way cold calling them to like get them into like our club is so sketchy. Going up to like random girls and like, hey, what up? You look cool, you know? Do you guys want to go out for a drink? Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that awkward back then, but you get the gist. I mean, they know you're a host with how you're dressed and how you look. They already know what you want. It's like they know who I am. They know why I'm talking to them type of thing, so they always, most of the time, shrug me off. Matsuyama, the area that I worked in, was mostly known for all the kyabajōs, the host clubs, all the others in between, things like that, you know? There's a host club kinda down the street where it's pirate themed, which is kind of funny. And you can see like the cast essentially out in front, and their names were like American names like Steve and John. And like I found that super funny. I totally would have gone there. That sounds like a good time.